No matter how successful your garden is being, at some point you're going to be having a problem with some pests. Grasshoppers, aphids, mites, slugs, and all sorts of little beasties are going to get in there and cause you havoc with your garden. So ideally what you want is something that's natural and hopefully inexpensive, and there are a few options for you, one of which is using various techniques with garlic and chilies. So I'm going to show you one little concoction that you can put together to naturally repel and get rid of some of the most common pests that you're going to have in your garden, and hopefully you'll be lucky enough that this will take care of pretty much all of those issues. If not, it's a good start point for you. So firstly, you're going to need some ingredients. A whole onion of garlic is a good way to get started, and some chilies or chili flakes if you couldn't be bothered with the rest of it. Then you're going to need yourself a blender of some sort to get it all mixed together in a nice liquid form. So firstly, with the garlic, pull away all of the extra dry casing. Don't worry about peeling it too much. You're going to need to strain it anyway, so don't get too precious about it. So I was feeling a little lazy, so I've got some pre-done chilies already done here, which I'm going to throw in. But if you've got some fresh, if you have a bush or whatever, use that. It's going to be better. Fresher is always better anyway, but this will do the trick. Then you want to throw it all together into a favoured blender, preferably that will hold about 1 litre worth of liquid, and then obviously fill it up with water. So my one's not quite 1 litre, but it's close enough for my purposes, so it'll do the trick anyway. Now another interesting one, which I haven't actually experimented with yet, but you should be able to do as well, is vinegar. Also works against a lot of pests also. So you can potentially put it in there along with it, a small amount, but I would use that separately personally because of the acidic content. I'm not exactly sure how they're all going to react, so I'm not going to advise it until I personally experiment with it, but there's no particular reason why it would be an issue. So basically, blend the living bejeebies out of it until it's all nicely thoroughly blended. The next step is that you want to strain it to get rid of all of the larger parts, because you're going to be putting it into a spray bottle. Now another technique that you can use is you can basically put all of this in water, preferably crushed enough, and let it steep and soak for ages. That also could work, provided that'll infuse into it, but I'm not exactly patient, so this does the trick. Now use some kind of a straining cloth over it, unless you've got something fine enough to use differently, and basically pour it into an appropriate container, which obviously will take its sweet time because it's straining. Finished strained product. Now, important tip, make sure you wash your hands thoroughly after making contact with any of that. Remember, there's chilies in there, and that will sting a lot if you accidentally scratch your eyes. So next thing you want to do, get yourself a spray bottle and then mix together roughly a 1/10 part to water to dilute it. That way then, say roughly 100 ml to about 1 litre, and that way you've got yourself a lot to use. You can make it a bit stronger if you like, experiment with the strength, but for most purposes about a 1/10 is about right. And there you have it, natural pest repellent. That'll take care of a large amount of bugs. Just make sure you spray both the top and bottom of the leaves. Give a good spray all over. If it rains, spray it again. Your remaining products that you've mixed up that hasn't been diluted yet, put that in the fridge covered over so that it keeps better as well. Other than that, give it a go and happy gardening.